What does it mean to future-proof your career? By the time you're done watching this video, you're going to learn what you can do right now to ensure that you thrive in the future, rain or shine. First, we'll take a look at what it means to be future-proof during times of rapid change. Next, we'll take a look at the most valuable asset that you own that can ensure your future no matter what happens. Lastly, you're going to discover why manners may actually keep you from getting ahead and staying ahead in the future. Oh no, don't tell your mom I said that. You ready to go? Let's get started. First, let's talk about what it means to be future-proof. I want you to imagine that you are standing in the ocean, okay? Standing, the water's just up to your knees or so, maybe a little bit higher, but you're standing in the ocean, looking out towards the ocean. All of a sudden, in the distance, you see this massive wave coming for you. You recognize you can't outrun this wave. It's moving too fast. And so at this point, you have some options. That wave is like the future. Many people, when they think of the future, they try to fight it. If that wave is coming, you can't fight the wave. You can't say, wave, don't come get me. It's too big of a force for you to overtake. So you have some options. You can allow that wave to completely wipe you out because you're not prepared. You can decide to try to swim through that wave, or you can decide to try to ride that wave. There are different options. Swimming or riding, both of them are fine. The wipeout, that's what we're trying to avoid. But unfortunately, because so many of us try to fight futures we don't want, we wipe out. Now, how do you know if you're someone who fights the future? First off, let me say very lovingly that most of us do on some level. There are actually neurological reasons on why most of us actually fight the future on some level. And I'll talk about that a little bit. If you ever see yourself seeing new inventions that are being widely adopted by many people and you just say, oh, that's stupid, that makes no sense, you're someone who's likely fighting the future. It doesn't mean we have to agree with everything that's coming. If we're not open to understanding why a thing is happening or how it might benefit different groups of people, then we're at risk for becoming irrelevant. I'll give you an interesting example. I was recently in a car with a gentleman. I had a car service taking me to an event. And when he found out what I did, he talked about how technology has made people lazy. And he said it started with the remote control for televisions, and it's just all been downhill from there. I said, that's interesting. I said, so you think remote control should have never been invented? He said, no, that was the beginning of it, because in my day, you got up and you turned the switch, and your parents would tell you, you were the remote control. You got up, you turned the switch, and you changed the bunny ears, you did what you had to do, and it just made us better people. I said, interesting. I said, how do you think that elders with mobility issues feel about remote controls? People that have some sort of disability, and they can't get up to change the channel. Do you think things like remotes have helped them? Or even items like Alexa? And he said, oh my gosh, I never thought of it that way. I said, exactly. I said, so here's the thing. I said, it's not that technology is bad. I said, we get to decide what makes sense for us. Now, can things be overused or used in the wrong way or bastardized? They most certainly can. However, at the same time, we do have to understand that many of the things that are coming our way that we might want to naturally poo-poo actually have some type of serviceable aspect that helps a group of people. So we don't want to be that person that's automatically shutting down when we see things changing around us. We get mad. That anger is our way from protecting ourselves from the fact that we're scared of becoming irrelevant. We're scared the world is changing and we don't know our place in it. So being future-proof simply means we don't fight the waves. We find a way to ride it or swim through it. Your biggest asset in future-proofing yourself, believe it or not, is your relationships. If you think about times in your life where you've had challenges, usually that help comes from people we know. So there's people who maybe they lose their job, maybe an organization is downsizing. If they have a strong network, someone else in their network might be able to introduce them to someone else at another company. I actually have many friends who have networked and brought each other into organizations. This happens all the time. And so we want to make sure we maintain our relationships. Let's address the elephant in the room that no one talks about. What if you're an introvert? What if you're not comfortable around people a whole lot? What if I were to tell you that I'm not just an introvert, I'm on the extreme end of it? I turn on a switch, because I speak in front of thousands of people at a time, but afterwards, to be really honest with you, if I don't fly out immediately, I go back to my room and I crash for like 5 hours because there's nothing left because it took so much energy to talk to people. I'm naturally more happy in a corner reading a book. So I say all this to say I understand where you're at, but understand that this does not have to be a chore. It doesn't have to be kind of like how we imagine 1980s networking, where you see these men in power suits throwing business cards at each other like ninja stars. That's not what we're doing. It's just simply caring about people. It's simply sending an email saying, you know what? It's been about 6 months since we spoke, and you just popped up on my heart, or I just thought about you and just wanted to make sure you're doing okay. How's everything over at XYZ company? Or how are your kids doing? Or last time we spoke, Beth was pregnant. How's the baby? Just care. That's all. It doesn't have to be anything major. It doesn't have to be anything cheesy or salesy, but just reach out to people from time to time. And if that's too much, send a text. Hey, Bill, just thought about you the other day and the funny thing you said when we saw each other last year. Hope all is well. That's enough where you've renewed that relationship with Bill. You've touched Bill. Now you have a new touch point. So don't make this harder than it has to be, but you do want to be a caring human where you reach out to people, because otherwise there won't be anyone there to care about you and reach out and help you. Now we want to talk about your experience and your knowledge level. In the past, we wanted people to really hone their experience and dig deep and be specialists. Now, there's still a place for specialists for sure in this world. The challenge, though, is that technology is changing so fast. We also need people that understand not just their domain, but how it relates to other domains as well. I'll give you an example. I was speaking at a conference for manufactured building professionals. So these are people that construct buildings within a factory, okay? So they build it in sections and they transport it and they stack it, and now you have a new building. If you're unfamiliar with the concept of manufactured construction, and this exists for both housing as well as commercial properties, for commercial, it tends to be those buildings that look like a repeated pattern over and over again, maybe not that much variety, or you might have even seen them built where they seem to be being built really fast on the spot. They're already pre-built. They're just stacking them is how it works. Anywho, here I am keynoting at their conference, and I'm talking about generative AI and its capabilities. And many of them didn't know that programs like ChatGPT could actually code. And so they have very special robots that they use, ABB robots, that have a special programming language specifically for building these buildings within buildings, right? And I showed them, I just gave it a prompt, and it actually started writing the programming for those ABB bots. It already knew the language. Do you know who was shocked? The companies in the room whose whole business structure was knowing how to program those ABB robots. So this is what I mean. Those people that did that have very deep knowledge, right? Very specialized. But in this technology world, it can be outdated very quickly. So if you have that knowledge, but you also have a working knowledge of other types of technology and how you might be able to invent other things, you're able to withstand the storm much better than someone who only has very specific domain expertise. So we want to broaden our knowledge base so that, yes, we can know a lot about one thing, but we want to make sure if that one thing is automated or changes dramatically, we still have someplace to go. Speaking of someplace to go, you can always come here to this channel. Come back. So make sure you subscribe so that you get alerts when we drop a brand new juicy video for you. I care. Look, we're networked right now. That's specifically for my fellow introverts. There we go. So let's go ahead and continue with future-proofing your career. Now, this piece is going to take a little bit of work on your part, but try to stay somewhat up to date on trends, technologies for your industry, as well as signals. So trends are the things that are starting to happen where your industry is going, okay? That's pretty simple. Technologies are the different types of technologies that are being used in your industry. Signals are the things that are a little bit harder to explain. Signals are those little things on the horizon that tell us, wait a minute, something's going on here. It's the first time you spot that rain cloud at a distance, even though you don't see any type of chance of rain in your weather app, but you're like, wait, that green cloud looks a little ominous. What's going on there, right? So those are the little things that you start to see where you use your own wisdom and your own deep knowledge to say this might be signaling something is happening. So if you're unfamiliar of how to keep up with these things, your industry publications, there's blogs, there's podcasts, and sometimes you don't even want to listen to things specifically from your industry. Maybe you just want to look at broader resources. So, some of my favorites include Why Did I Push That Button? This Week in Tech, These are great podcasts you can listen to while you're doing dishes or walking your doggy, just to kind of stay up to date on what's happening. But you have to stay fresh if you want to be future-proof. This leads us into the next point, which is I want you to become a continuous learner if you're not already. So yes, sign up for those courses that they're offering at your job. But here's the bigger piece, sign up for courses that they're not paying for at your job. There's all kinds of online places like Coursera where you can take courses. I think they charge like $40 a month. It's not very expensive. But make sure that you own your own continuing education. You don't want to become outdated because you're waiting on someone else to keep you updated. This is your responsibility. This is your career. Listen to podcasts, listen to blogs. You don't have to do all the things. Even if you just spend 15 minutes a week listening or reading things that'll help keep you up to date. And listening is easy because there's all these audiobooks, there's podcasts that you can listen to as you're doing everyday tasks. But again, the most important thing is for you to own this. Don't wait for somebody else to upgrade you. You keep yourself upgraded. And then lastly, build a strong personal brand. Make sure that people within your organization and your industry know you as someone who is a lifetime learner. When you come to them, hey, did you hear about this new trend or did you see this over here? Make sure that your LinkedIn profile looks great. Make sure that when you show up, you look polished. And looking polished does not look the same for everyone. So for instance, with women, I don't tell them that everyone needs to wear high heels or makeup. That might not make sense for your brand. It may not even make sense for your industry. If you're working in a warehouse and you're running around in heels and makeup, you're gonna look crazy, right? So we wanna make sure that you look in alignment with what you do, but make sure that whatever that is, it looks intentional. You look gathered. So you're building that personal brand so that we can future-proof your career. That way, these people that are within your network that you're staying connected with, when opportunities arrive, they think of you because you've already made an indelible mark in their minds that you're someone who's future-proof in the industry. Speaking of future-proofing, you're gonna notice in the description of this video, there is a link to download my Future Ready Playbook. I designed this playbook just for you to lead you through activities by hand. Just take your hand and lead you through one by one that will help you future-proof yourself, your career, and your business.